and that you wanna talk to me, but you got your pride in the middle. Why don't you just say I would kill you?
At the offset of the Chicago drill scene, women like Katie Got Bandz, Sasha Go Hard, and Shady were the first to jump on the genre's rapid-fire growth and contributed hugely to why this style of music was so popular in the first place. But when it comes to New York's drill scene, that hasn't really been the case, at least not until now. Over the past year or so, an entirely new wave of women has put this genre on notice, and few have done so more effectively than the woman that we know as Kenzo B. This high school senior grew up freestyling with her brother. You may have heard of him, his name is Bando. But this talented young woman didn't need her brother to help her out on the scene. She did that herself with the release of her hit track, Bump It. All the same, Kenzo B's come up was far from easy, and it even began with her mother giving birth while she was locked up in prison. If you want to learn how one of the internet's most promising up-and-coming rappers got her start, then keep watching our newest episode of Before They Were Famous. Kenzo B was born on March 4th, 2005 in Connecticut. If you're curious about her government name, well, that hasn't been released to the wider world at large as of yet. As for why Connecticut and not the Bronx, that would be because Kenzo was born in lockup while her mother was serving time in prison on an 11-year sentence.
I was fake only born because my mom was doing time up there. So when she came home,
she was locked up in Connecticut?
Yeah, she was locked up. Okay. So I was born while she was locked up. I came to the Bronx.
Following her birth, Kenzo would stay with her mom while the two of them spent time living in a halfway house for 3 months. But after those short few months were up, Kenzo was sent to live with her grandmother in Harlem while her mother carried out the rest of her sentence. After finishing her bid, Kenzo's mom would finally return home, pack up her daughter, and move them both to the Bronx. More specifically, the River Park Towers, a particularly violent and dangerous part of town where this talented young kid would spend the next 12 years of her life. As a kid, Kenzo grew up with 2 siblings, both of whom she was close with, and one of whom would turn into the big-time Bronx rapper, Bando. Someone she looked so much alike that when they were growing up, everyone seemed to think that they were twins. When they were kids out on the streets, Kenzo says that she was the good one while Bando was always a badass looking to get into all kinds of trouble. But since these two were always together, Kenzo would find herself sharing in Bando's inevitable punishment. Guilty by association. As for herself, Kenzo recalls being something of a social butterfly as a kid, but that pretty quickly went away as she became more and more of an antisocial teenager who would largely keep to herself.
There was a lot of love in this world when I was younger. Now there's no love out here.
While growing up in the RPT, Kenzo met the kid who would one day become DThang. At the time, he wasn't the rapper that we know him as today, and he introduced himself to Kenzo in typical boy meets girl fashion by being mean to her. But over the next little while, their relationship would change and they'd become best friends. As DThang's career eventually began to explode, Kenzo had a front seat to watch firsthand as he went from somebody that nobody knew to one of the most famous rappers in the city. It would provide both motivation and something of a blueprint that Kenzo herself could utilize later on. And knowing that his best friend had some real skill behind the mic, once DThang began to take off, he encouraged Kenzo to get in the studio and collaborate with him on a song. But she never did because at the time, Kenzo thought he was playing.
For me, he used to tell me like, cause he knew I could rap, so he used to tell me like, yo, best friend, we need a song, like get in the studio, you could do that shit. And I always used to just be playing.
A little while later on, when Kenzo was on the brink of finding her own fame thanks to music, DThang would be one of the first people she ever spit her song, Bump It, to. As for where Kenzo's skill on the mic comes from, well, she's actually been honing her craft for a good long while, and people all around her neighborhood knew her skills because she had constantly been working on them. Not only did she get her start by singing in local talent shows during the 2nd grade, but before her brother Bando started spitting on the mic, Kenzo was rapping first.
That's what's up. And you said your little sister was rapping too, right?
Yeah, she was better than me. My brother was always rapping at the crib.
That's what's up,
yeah. Freestyle.
Now, Kenzo remembers things a little differently. According to her, they both started rapping more or less around the same time, when they were around 8 years old. Dropping bars since 8. You gotta appreciate it. At the time, their older brother had already started rapping himself. Then one day, he put on a background track and told his kid siblings to go hard. While Bando struggled somewhat out of the gate, Kenzo took to freestyling like fish to water. But eventually, she and her older brother became disillusioned with their careers because it didn't go anywhere. Talk about an ambitious 8-year-old.
8, 9 years old, I didn't have no Facebook page, I didn't have no Instagram page, I didn't have no promotion, I was just making music. So for me, it was no point.
Okay.
I wasn't on that.
Again, she was only around 10 years old at this point, so I'm not entirely sure what she was expecting, but eventually she stopped taking it seriously. Bando did not, which is why he blew up first. It would take Kenzo a few more years to find her footing. After briefly giving up on her dreams to become a rapper, Kenzo set her sights on finishing school and attending college to major in law with intentions of becoming either a lawyer or her true passion, a detective. Now that's somebody who likes murder mystery podcasts. For good or bad, and let's be honest, it's probably good she'd blow up before that would ever become a reality. On December 12th, 2021, Kenzo finally took the first steps towards becoming the rapper she always knew she could be when she posted a snippet of the song that would become Bump It to her social media. Having been perfecting her craft for so long, when Kenzo began dropping her music, everybody in her hood was ready to support her. Proud that she finally was ready to make her mark.
These girls are better than the bro. Oh my god,
where to? They bugging.
These girls are better than
bugging.
And yo, let's get one thing straight. Kenzo may have briefly given up on her dream on becoming a rapper, but she never gave up on practicing to become better. She continued to write and freestyle all throughout her teenage years, and so when she finally came up with Bump It, she knew she had something special. Soon enough, she was shooting her first music video for the single, and upon its release, it would quickly blow up past 1 million views in almost no time at all. Despite her immediate success, Kenzo would remain hungry and keep churning out the hits. Before long, tracks like The Realist and Wish, which literally just dropped a few days ago, would follow. And just like that, Kenzo B had become the newest female face of Bronx drill music. As for where her career takes her from here, well, she's working on a new EP tentatively titled Top Dog.
Is this Kenzo G? My fault. I ain't gonna lie, Kenzo, word of my mother, yo, we have to talk. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it's really like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot going on, you feel what I'm saying?
But in terms of what comes next, you already know what I'm gonna say. We're just gonna have to wait and see, because this is before they were famous. Thank you for everybody for watching. Please be sure to let us know what you think about Kenzo B's story in the comment section down below. Like, what's your favorite track about her? And is she really the new face of drill? Let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell as well. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video. That Bronx drill shit be like, oh no, don't put that on the screen. I got dirty ass fucking forces on.